Hi, welcome to another episode of Only Time Can Tell. I'm your host, Ken, and this podcast is basically talking about success and giving you an idea of what success looks like for a lot of different people. My guest today is East Harlem's own Damon Thorn.
Thank you for having me, man.
No problem. Thank you for joining.
To come up here, man.
Thank you.
I appreciate you guys. I like what y'all guys are doing.
All right, I appreciate that. Before we get started, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Let people know, share the content or whatever, so that we can help grow this and get bigger and bigger. So the people who don't know you, why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself? Who is Damon Thorn?
Damon Thorn is just, a young cat from Harlem. He's currently living in Atlanta right now.
Living in Atlanta?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, how'd you wind up down in Atlanta?
In 2009, 2007 I graduated high school. When I graduated high school, went to Community College of State, and I just wanted something better, something different. Being I grew up and I was born and raised in New York, so I said,
right.
Let me try HBCU, try something different. And
historically black college, right?
Yes. And one of my mentors, by the name of Zelle, he went to Morehouse, and I so happened to meet him in my high school,
right?
Yes, on 100th Street, and told me about the school. It was awesome, and I applied and wound up getting in. It's the best thing in my life. I definitely feel it's a tool for networking.
Okay.
Networking, you're gonna meet lawyers, doctors. You're gonna meet a lot of people that's doing really great things, and most of the friends I have now is I met from these institutions: Clark Atlanta, Spelman,
right.
Morehouse.
So you have mentioned that there was some certain things about school that you didn't like. What is the thing about school that you don't like?
Well, I felt like although my time at Morehouse was great, it was a few things that I wasn't prepared for moving forward. Like maybe school, like learning how to be more of an entrepreneur, instead of learning how to work for another company and move like the CEO,
right.
and be recognized by the CEO.
Right.
But I wish we could learn more about credit in school, taxes, more of accounting, and now I think at this point, we should have classes that talk about cryptocurrency, because this is where the world's going.
Right.
Cryptocurrency,
right.
Everything is digital now. So.
Yeah. I hear you on that. Mm-hmm. And I agree to a certain extent that definitely school isn't intended to basically make you an entrepreneur or whatever, but right. train you to be a worker bee. So that's kind of cool. I understand what you're saying. One of the things that I've always said, because I have a daughter who's right. getting ready to hit the college scene or whatever, and right. one of the things that I told her is that college is definitely a good place to go to network or whatever.
Correct.
And if you go to an institution, you want to basically look at their affiliations, who they're affiliated
right.
with.
Right.
So when it's time to intern or go out into the job market, you know what I'm saying, like depending on who they're affiliated with, like I know when I was down in Atlanta,
right.
One of my friends, he went to Clark, and he was saying he was having such a hard time getting an internship mm-hmm. at CNN, which was right there,
Right.
Whereas I wondered had he went to maybe Georgia Tech or Georgia State University,
right.
if he would have had that same issue.
Definitely.
So, and I remember talking to you like way back when you was telling me, I was thinking about going to historically black college. Mm-hmm. One of the things that I had asked was, hey, all right, well, do you plan on, when you go out into the job force, do you plan on working at a black company or whatever? Because mm-hmm. if you go into corporate America, how would that investment, in that college degree, how would that, affect your application?
Right.
If, say, for instance, you went to like a Pfizer or,
UCLA.
You went to one of those big, Fortune 500 companies.
Right.
If they saw an applicant from Morehouse College,
right.
Would they kind of like see that as, all right, let's put that over here because,
right.
So based off of that or whatever, what was like the job hunting like, or the job situation like, after because you did finish college, correct?
Definitely finished.
Okay.
Finance degree.
So yeah, when you got your degree or whatever, and you tried to go out into the workforce or whatever, do you feel that Morehouse helped you, or do you feel that it might have held you back somewhat? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Having a Morehouse degree definitely helps. Having a degree, period.
Okay.
From what I see now, because at the end of the day, it depends on the individual, right? It depends on. It's more so what you know and who you know, right? I got this fine degree, but this guy got 6 years experience, and he knows. So then, as you competing with somebody who took an online class for 12 months, and spent $5,000, and I spent $160,000, but he's better prepared because he actually has been in the field, So being that I had the Morehouse degree, yes, it looks good. He's prestigious, this guy's smart, he can dress, talk, well-read, well-spoken. But it's really, now what I'm learning is really about what you know, but it's really about who you know. Because sometimes you can lose a job against somebody who took an online class for 12 months and you've been sitting in an institution for 4 or 5 years. So it just really depends on the individual now. I think a guy with a certificate at a community school is just as eligible as a Harvard grad. Depending on
yes and no.
Yes and no, right?
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
Right.
But if this guy got the certificate, but his dad is the head CEO or worked for the CEO in Morgan Stanley. Right. But the Harvard, depends on who the person is and the individual.
Okay. So as far as you are concerned, like, did you have any issues? Did
I have any issues? Yeah, my personal issue was, all right, now I'm going out into a field and I'm looking for a job that really I don't want. You know? Because society, you get a degree, you have a finance degree, now what's next? Go work for a bank? Well, that necessarily doesn't make me happy. Right. So I had to realize, all right, am I doing this because of my parents, my friends, or it's like, all right, what do I want to do? What's going to make me happy?
See that, and that's cool. I'm glad that you said that because a lot of times, you're absolutely right. A lot of times, we get programmed by our parents. At least I did. Oh, you want to go to school so you get a good job. But no one defines what the good job is.
If I listen to my parents, I won't have any Bitcoin. My dad, I'm still trying to get him to invest in Bitcoin. He like, what? He said, shit, I'm not putting my money in. Why? If I lose my money, you gonna give me my money back? Right. All right. But it's a chance. But All
right. So that's what you said. So now you said you're investing in Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's Bitcoin. Yeah, it's Bitcoin. Cryptocurrency. Period.
Okay. What made you decide to go that route?
Cryptocurrency. Well, I heard about it many years ago.
Okay.
I just don't want to just jump on anything, and I just started doing my research. Okay. And just started to make sense to me after a while. Okay. Right?
Well, what about that appealed to you? Especially, like I said, especially having a degree in finance. What made you decide to be like, you know what? Let me start investing in this cryptocurrency. Like,
this what stood out to me. Making money in your sleep, first of all. Okay. Sending money to people, right? Okay. So you want to send a certain amount of money. I can send you $10,000 in 5 minutes without a million verifications, going through a bank, send it to you privately. What I definitely like about it is that you can make money in. Like I have $5 in my pocket. Tomorrow that $5 is going to be $5, or probably be worth less than $5, right? Right. I have $5 in Bitcoin. Tomorrow it could fluctuate, it could go down, but at the end of the day, it's going to do what? It's increasing. If you look at its track record, it's been going up. Right. And I'm not a financial advisor at all, right? Definitely not a financial advisor, but I think people need to pay attention. It's about that time.
All right. So how would you say you're doing as far as foreign cryptocurrency is concerned? Like, are you doing well? Are you, do you see yourself doing this maybe full time, or is this something that, you want to just keep as a hobby?
I see myself doing it full time because it's a lot of money to be made. Okay. It's $1 billion on the internet. It's a lot of money on the internet. Right. And everything, is everything is digital. We're going digital now. Okay. It makes sense. Like it makes sense. Right. So I definitely think that it's going to take time for people to understand it.
Where do you see yourself, say, 5 years from now? Do you see yourself dabbling into different arenas as far as like investing, or do you see yourself just solely focused on like the cryptocurrency?
I see myself fully digital.
Fully digital. Okay.
My food is digital. My money's digital. Digital real estate, Decentraland.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Decentraland,
Right.
and you know, I see everything is digital. I feel whatever I do is everything is digital. We order groceries digitally. Everything is going digital. So I see myself living in this fantasy world. Not fantasy, but this is everything is digital. Right now. So it's like
you're right. You're right.
You know.
So let me ask you now: were you affected? How did the COVID-19 or the COVID pandemic thing affect you in any way? Did it affect you in terms of?
You know what? That was the best thing that happened to me.
Okay.
I'm so, you know, a lot of people lost. You know, my condolences to people who lost family members during this hard time and this virus. But for me, it was the best thing that happened to me because it's like going to end the road. All right, where do I go from here?
Right.
I was working as an account manager for a GPS tracking company, lost my job, and the little money I had left, I'm like, all right, cool. I could file for unemployment, come on unemployment, and all I did was, all right, cool. This will run out one day. So what do I do now? Now you start, when you get to a certain place in your life, and you want to bring back the cash flows and making money, you start thinking and looking like, damn, what could I get into stocks? Whether it's a lemonade stand, get into a trucking company. So I just started paying attention. Now I started calling on my Morehouse and, all right, what's going on right now? What can I jump on now? Sometimes your back against the wall could
propel you forward.
Right.
Yeah,
now it's cryptocurrency. Now it's like, all right, I'm taking all my little money, and then I'm seeing hot results.
Right.
Like, damn, why I ain't been do this? You know?
Okay.
So.
All right. So, do you have any children?
Yeah, I have a daughter.
You have a daughter?
I have a daughter right now. And it's funny because right now, it's so new. What I'm doing now is preparing my daughter.
Okay.
Right. So you know, we started a little LLC for her called Crypto Kids. Crypto Kids, which I want to start teaching children 5 and older about cryptocurrency and
that's a good idea.
In the blockchain and, you know, smart contracts, NFTs, something for them so we can start them early.
Right.
So I'm trying to get into coding now.
How old is your daughter?
She's 8 years old now.
8 years old?
Right.
Wow. So 8 years old, learning about cryptocurrency, having her own company.
Right.
That's amazing.
Right.
That's amazing. All right. Were there any people in your life that helped inspired you to be at the stage that you're at right now?
Yes. A lot of my family members, you know, like even you know, you go into a HBCU. I went to a HBCU.
Right.
So, have most of my family members is gifted, talented.
Right.
We always got a little hustle going on, but you know, my father definitely was a big influence on me because, you know, he set me. I lived a certain lifestyle, and I was like, all right, how do I keep this going without needing my dad? Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I have family members, cousins, you know.
Okay.
Take a little bit from each person.
What you should do, right? Yeah. But the most important thing, like I think, and I can't stress it enough, you know, for all the fathers out there, make sure you in your kids' lives, man. That they need you, man. That's very, very important. You heard it from this man himself. His father was instrumental in helping him to be the man that we have here today or whatever. So that's cool. That's dope. Were there any things that you've done, any setbacks, anything that you might have done that might have been a regret? That you might regret it, like you wish you could have done all over again?
That's a good question, man. You know, it's a good question. They say you shouldn't live with no regrets, but I should have paid more attention, like in the beginning of high school.
Right.
But I don't know if it's my surroundings. It's hard to really figure that out. My surroundings. Sometimes it could be your parents and how important education is to them. Right. Because I have friends where it was like, shit, I've been doing division at 6. Right. Whereas like, I started really taking it serious at 17 because I need to do my remedials to get into school. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it depends on your parents. So definitely, like you said, you know, teaching your kids early. Right. Oh yeah, definitely. So another regret I have is, I think if I would have did something different, I think I would have studied, either went into the biology, the pre-med field, or computer science. Because guess what? That's computer science right now. Right. See what's going on.
Right.
the digital world. And
But see, be careful with that too, because I know unless you was one of those kids that was like really into coding, because computer science, and I know this because my father used to drill that in my head.
Right.
So for my first 5 years of college, I'm sitting up there, you know, trying to learn different languages, you know, and I'm sitting up there like, yeah, I'm just not getting it, you know. And at first I thought there was something wrong with me, but at the end of the day, it was just like, yo, dude, you're not really interested in it.
Right.
So, you know, to go after a job because of the, you know, that there's money involved, you can make money. To me personally, I think that's not necessarily the best idea. But now if you're going into a field because this is something that you're passionate about, or this is something that's interesting to you, now that's a whole different avenue.
And it's about making it fun, like I said. Like, you just have to make it fun. Now, what if somebody would have made learning a different language fun?
Right.
As opposed to just, all right, you got to be here at this time when you don't want to. You want to be in the park.
Right.
Make it fun.
Right.
You know, it's about making things fun. And I should have been around the right people. When you're around the right people, that could be fun too. You got the people you around the right people.
But you know, what's wrong with the people that you were around? Because I mean, the fact that you're here right next to me shows that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, something worked.
Something worked.
Something worked. Right.
But if I was around the right people, you know.
I mean, I don't know.
No, not the right people. I won't say the right people. I was around the right people.
Right.
But I wanted to go into a different field.
Right.
The field that I'm looking at now is like computer science, pre-med. That stuff is interesting to me now.
Okay.
And I look at it like, damn, I would have been interested in this. Computers. I also make music too. Like
you make music too?
Piano. So I make music. So you know, everything I do is on the computer.
Okay.
Right. So as far as video editing, the computer, and I love it. Like I built my first computer at 14, motherboard, Tiger Direct behind the case, and motherboard in the RAM.
Get out of here, really?
Really did. I just never finished it. But I started, right? But if I was around the right people,
but you might have
people that was building computers,
right.
You know what I'm saying? I learned how to roll a blunt before I learned how to turn on the computer. You know what I'm saying? But you know,
right. I got
but yeah, so it's around the right people, and I said, you know, it's about being around the right people. But it goes back to your parents. Like if that's what you want for your kid, like, you know, I'm gonna let my daughter live her life, but I gotta build a life for her in the beginning. And then if she wanna diverge from that, that's cool. But
you know, it's funny. You said it's about the parents or whatever, and one of the things that I had to learn, the job of a parent, is to make sure that they give their kids better than what they had.
Correct.
You know? So with that, how would you feel, or what do you think that you're doing better for your daughter, or what are you giving to your daughter that maybe your parents didn't give to you?
Like I said, I'm getting her signed up for a coding class.
Really?
To code at 8 years old, start coding. So by the time she turns 16, she could be developing her own app, right? Because if she's coding, everything works together. Right. If my daughter wanted to start a business, that business needs what? A website.
Right.
Do you need to go to somebody else to get the website? You know, you do your own website.
So she could pretty much be
she do everything.
Right.
You know, she do everything.
Yeah, that's pretty dope, man.
Yeah,
that's dope.
You know, and just keep going.
Right.
The domino effect.
Okay. Your daughter and her mother, are you guys still together?
Oh no, we're not. No, we're not. Well, we did meet in college. She went to Spelman. And I went
she did.
Morehouse.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Yeah. So one of the things that I stress, you know, how is you guys' relationships or whatever? Because
works very well.
Works very well.
Then, you know, and that's another thing. Finding a partner that's on the same page as you.
Right.
Because my daughter's mom also invests.
Oh, does she?
She also has crypto. She also does stocks. And sometimes we're, all right, check out this one. Hey, check out Cardano or check out Neo.
Right, so you guys have a good friendship or whatever.
Right.
Yeah,
so we definitely agree on how our daughter should be learning it.
Right. And that's important too, because like you said, you know, you guys are both investing time and energy into your daughter, you know, that's the investment.
Right.
You know, and you guys both have the same mutual interests. Right. You know, so yeah, that's dope, man, that's dope.
You know, Bitcoin is internet gold. Ethereum is internet silver.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And Ethereum is changing. Right. This is the right time. And you're not too late. Cryptocurrency is not too late.
Okay.
It's new. You know, some people been on it. Of course, some people been on it before others. But this reminds me, even though I didn't benefit from. This reminds me of when the internet first came out.
Okay.
When the big computers, Apple, when the internet was like 90s, 91. I don't know when it came out.
Well, it came out. They started it in the 60s because what a lot of people don't realize was the internet was designed as, from what I've read, it was designed as a secondary communication source because during the time of the wars, the American government was concerned that if the enemy knocked out the phone lines, then how would they basically communicate? So they basically developed this whole other means of communication basically in the 60s. But back then, the computers were pretty much the size of this room. And they could only do like simple processes or whatever. But yeah, but it became accessible, I think, to the masses like
around
in the mid-90s.
90s, right?
Yeah,
now, think about that. Those are the people that caught on to it, whether we need to jump into this, Microsoft or the software that's running on these things. Now, right now, you know, the banking industry is changing. Things is changing. Look around. Taxis don't like Ubers. Hotels don't like Airbnbs. You know?
Yeah, the computer disrupted a lot of industries.
You know, things is changing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and that just that ability of being in control of your own money and your money working for you is amazing to me. You know? And I think people should. It's early. It's early. These prices early. Like, listen, buying Ethereum right now. I keep talking about Ethereum because Ethereum is my baby. I love Ethereum, by the way. But buying Ethereum right now is like buying property in the Manhattans in the 1800s.
Oh wow!
Let me say that one more time. Buying Ethereum right now is like buying property in the Manhattan in the 1800s. You take that, you rewind that, listen to it.
No, because it's funny that you're not even the 1800s. I remember back in the 90s.
90s, it was the brownstones.
The brownstones in Harlem. You know, there was this lady that, you know, I used to work in a bank, and she used to come to me like, baby, you want to buy one of these brownstones or whatever, because they're giving them away for $250,000. You know, and I'm sitting up there at that time, like, you know, young, dumb. I'm like, $250,000, crazy lady. I don't have $250,000. But had I known what I've known now, you know, it would have been easy for me to basically get that money, make that investment, and years later be sitting on, you know, $1 million, $2 million home, you know. So I get you, man.
So take that information, you guys, and I guess
go what you got to do, what you got to do.
Do your research.
All right.
Once again, I'm not a financial advisor. But I'm gonna advise y'all to do some research.
All right. So are you online, or, you know, how would people be able to reach you, or, you know, hear your music? Because you said you also do music.
Yeah, I do some music.
How would people be able to get a hold of your content or whatever?
Just reach out to me through Instagram at Damon Thorn, DamonThorn. At Damon Thorn.
So Damon Thorn on Instagram.
Get at me. And Damon Thorn on Facebook also, same name.
All right, that's cool. Yo, thank you for your time. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you guys for having me.
I appreciate it. Yeah, a lot of good.
I'll be inviting you back.
A lot of good energy, man. Ethereum, Damon Thorn on Instagram. Well, don't forget, guys. That'll do it for this week. You know, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Don't forget to smash that like button. You know, we'll be back next week. Thanks for everything. Peace.
I hope that you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you will always get an alert when a new video drops.